What's up again, my archfiends of chaos? This is your King of Vince about to be Turk bringing you with a brand new video, and I'm still wearing my gym apparel because I'm just pre-recording these before I send them out, which this will go on there Wednesday. But what if Kuja turned into a good guy? Now, Kuja still will be evil until we get to this arc right here, until we get to the Terror arc. Because Kuja was under the watchful gaze of Garland, and if he didn't do what Garland wanted, if he would have went too far with his plans, Garland would get rid of him. And before in the early stages of Final Fantasy IX, before Zidane, Garland was stronger than Kuja. Kuja only gradually got stronger when he absorbed some of the Eidolons. So my theory is on this is that this would have to be right after Kuja stands up to Garland and destroys Garland. Now, with all of this that happened, he would to start off in Final Fantasy IX. Let's go back to the beginning. In Final Fantasy IX, it still played the same way it has in the game. Queen Barney would get greedy. Kuja would provide the means of feeding Queen Barney's greed using the army of black mages. Kuja kills Queen Barney. Garnet hates Kuja for killing her mother. So, that stuff will still happen like it did. Amarant and Lonnie become bounty hunters to find, Zidane's crew. Amarant joins Zidane, regrettably. The same stuff would still happen until we get to Terra. Now, once we get to Terra, things will change. Things will change after we get to Terra. So, Garland would end up betraying. Kuja would end up betraying Garland. But since now Kuja knows he has a short lifespan, Kuja has one of two choices: to fight Zidane until he dies, make a video, or to join up with the good guys and find a way to get a longer lifespan with the help of the crew. Either way, Kuja's gonna die anyways because Garland purposely made his life short. That's another reason why Kuja was evil, because he had no one to love and his life was purposely made short by Garland because Garland's a fucking dick. That's just the truth. Garland doesn't care about anyone but himself. Garland's been evil since Final Fantasy I, so, of course, he even did the same thing to Zidane, and Zidane had no reason to go after Garland until what's her face? I can't remember her name, but I think it was Makoto. Yeah, until Makoto told Zidane. I think it's Makoto. I can't remember. The other genome, Zidane's sister. I'm guessing this is him in his human body. So considering things would play like that, when he takes and then this is when Kuja would actually have one or two choices. And since the choice in the irregular continuity, Kuja stays evil until he dies. So in this one, Kuja calms down. Zidane's able to calm Kuja down and able to be friendly to Kuja and help him out. He even helps heal Kuja. Kuja sees that, maybe this stuff I'm doing is wrong, and maybe I should just, look at Zidane and his family. So he joins up with Zidane. After he joins up with Zidane, there wouldn't be no final fight between Kuja or Zidane, so we don't get to see the awesome trance Kuja like we did in the original series that blew up Terra. We don't get to see that. We don't get to see that, but because Kuja has joined up with Zidane, this will also help get Zidane out of depression, because Zidane's extremely depressed considering the fact that Garland made Zidane and Kuja an instrument of war. Because the real villains, the only true villains of Final Fantasy IX were not what was really not Kuja. It was actually Garland and Necron. Garland wanted to summon Necron to the world by causing a bunch of wars, so he could absorb Necron and become a god. That's what Garland wanted to do, and that's why Garland used Kuja to do half his bidding, thinking that if he would left Kuja alone in the world, Kuja would run amok and start a bunch of wars for him, and he would you know, get him to waken Necron. So, you know, but because Kuja's a good guy at this point, Kuja's defeated Garland, his capturer. He would help Zidane get over his misery, because at this point, even though this is after the point when, you know, Zidane becomes miserable and depressed, you know, he would help him say, hey, you know what? It's not our fault. This guy messed us over. And it's true. Garland has messed over both Kuja and Zidane. In fact, Kuja known this all along. That's why Kuja hates Garland. You know, the worst. You know, I think, to be quite honest, just like Sephiroth, Kuja wasn't in control of his emotions, and his emotions made him bad. But, you know, could you really blame him? Could you really blame him? I mean, Garland was
good. I'm glad the Angel Death is right there, bud.
Father figure, you know, because he purposely made his kids have short lives.
Exactly.
Which, you know, is really unforgivable. And really, I hope that, you know, Garland never returns, just based off of that fact. You know, Garland is just as evil as Hojo and Verstale. He's
so that's your
on
answer.
that same father list.
Sick of giant dragon on us instead of fighting yourself.
You know,
you're a coward.
But could you really blame Kuja?
You're a coward, bro.
Could you really blame him for the way he is? Now, after he gets him out of depression, so they would go on to fight Necron and defeat Necron a little bit effortlessly, because this time Kuja would have to Kuja and Zidane would go all out, so they both transform into the transforms.
Let's go.
They're, you know, the monkey fur thing that they, you know, they're transformed, and, you know, they would go up against Necron and beat Necron effortlessly, because Necron was not that strong, to be quite honest. He was not that strong. Maybe if you were like an extreme low level. But, you know,
that's cute,
Necron was strong, but not that strong. So, you know, the fact that, you know, they would proceed to fight Necron in their trance modes, and because Kuja's really powerful, even stronger than Garland at this point, it'd be enough power. It would be enough power to wipe out Necron, thus saving the entire world from his destruction, because Necron is a god of destruction. So it would save him, you know, he would end up saving the world. Now this time Kuja would not die like he did in the original, and then Zidane feels bad and wanted to go see him in the tree before he dies. He would actually end up being in the celebration. You know, he would actually be in the celebration. He would actually be in the celebration where, you know, Zidane hooks up with Garnet. Now, as for love interest, I don't think there would be a love interest for Kuja, because Kuja's lived his life in evil all the way up to this point, you know. But Kuja would be happy to see that Zidane's got someone, you know, to love. So he would actually help rebuild. Alexandria. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised if Kuja joins up with the Knights of Pluto, or at least becomes a high commander of the Knights of Pluto alongside, you know, actually, he probably end up replacing Beatrix, because Beatrix quits the army and gets married to Steiner and has a new life, so Beatrix would give her job up to Kuja, since, you know, Kuja's strong enough, he'd make the military stronger. Anybody who would challenge ever puts their hands on Alexandria Kingdom will suffer the power of one of the strongest genomes ever in creation, Kuja. So, and then when Kuja dies, since Kuja died as a good guy, I'm more likely Kuja would pretty much go, you know, upstairs, pretty much to heaven, pretty much for saving people and defeating Necron and, you know, deciding to be good, even though it was his last days of life. It would even be more sad. So that's what I think. And may the crystal be with you.